What's up, y'all? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and I'm out here with the AR Fun. Yes, this is the AR Fun, but it just has the 90 GT props on it. And the reason for that is the props that I received were a little longer than 1935 as expected. They were 2035 props, 5-bladed props I'm talking about. And the DYS props were the same. They were I think they're 2030 props. Anyhow, they're a little too long for this. They were striking the frame, they were striking the camera as well. So I really couldn't fly with those unless I trimmed them or something. So I was trying different props out on it, trying to see what props will work best, and these seem to work the best. So these are the only ones that I have that don't strike the camera or the frame. As you can see, I added longer standoffs on here to raise the frame up in attempts to stop the props from striking the frame. I even shaved some of the frame off filed it off there on the edges, and then it was striking the camera there still, and also it was striking the buzzer. As you can see, my buzzer is gone. It actually broke the buzzer there, but the light still works. It still functions and all. So I just shoved the light a little further in there so it doesn't hit the props or anything. And the thing was, when it flexes, this thing has so much power, man. When you punch the throttle up, the props actually flex upward, and that was causing it to hit the frame. So I raised it up a little higher there, and that destroyed the buzzer as well. And so I just added another buzzer, the same type, but it's just on the top here now, sitting on top of the receiver. I swapped the receiver out. I had a Fly Sky receiver, and it wouldn't bind to anything I had. I have the i6, Fly Sky i6, but it wouldn't bind to that either. So I ended up going with a GSM-X satellite, as I'm used to, and I got this thing in the air finally. And I must say that this does have a lot of power. I think it's overkill actually, because none of the batteries that I have, except for these MJX X600 batteries, work. And these batteries are like, I think they're let me see, these batteries are 700 milliamp hour batteries, and I think they're high C rated. So this was the only battery that I can get to work with this thing without browning out. Now even the battery that they sent was browning out. Now they were out of stock for some time. That's why I didn't get it in on the channel until now. But I guess this is the new batch. In the new batch, I hope all of them aren't like that, but I know mine shipped with slightly longer props. Just that little millimeter made a big difference from 1935 props to 2035 props. Had mine striking the frame, striking the camera, destroyed the buzzer, you know, because the props were just missing. Well, that's as far as I know from watching other people's reviews. The props were just missing everything, and this camera was tilted very far upward, and I removed that. It was striking that too. I sat it back far as I can, and it was still striking. So I was forced to use these smaller props here, and these smaller props seem to give it a little more punch, it seems. Not top end maybe, but a little more punch. It reacts faster. Like when I kick the throttle all the way up, it starts to move faster, because the 5-bladed props, it seemed like there was a slight delay before it actually starts moving up at its top speed. But I guess these spool up faster because they're lighter, so this is able to jump higher really fast with these props on it. It flies nice with these props. Not exactly as smooth as the 90 GT. The 90 GT so far has been the smoothest flyer that I've flown. I think it's really close on par with the Baby Hawk, the 90 GT. But as for this thing outpowers the both of them. With a 2S, this thing has as much punch as the Baby Hawk does on 3S, while this is on 2S. And when you put this on 3S, it just was unmanageable as far as the props that I had, because they were striking so much. And then once I raised the canopy, once I raised the top plate like this, it just vibrated too vigorously on a top throttle for it to really go fast, I guess, faster than the 2S. So it seems to work better on 2S. Leave it up to me. I think this is overkill for such a small frame here. I would stretch this frame out. I would probably use a 100 or better size frame, 100 millimeters or better, and I would just, little bug on me, and I would just add the contents of this quad here to a larger frame, because it seems like it'll be managed better, and you can use a 3S battery, and then you can use a larger battery, because this thing is so power hungry that you can't use anything lower than I would say a 600 milliamp hour battery, unless you have a very high C rating, like an 80 C battery or something like that. And so, and I'm thinking, if they, since they this is actually the second batch and they're making changes or whatever, why not give us a darn battery that works with it? Give us a higher C rating battery, you know. Don't just give us a battery that we're not going to be able to use with the thing. So it's falling out of the sky a lot of times, and this bottom plate here is 3 millimeters, so it's beefier than any of the other ones that I have tried, that I've tested so far. This frame seems pretty much unbreakable. I did have a brownout from very far up, and you guys know I fly out here on the concrete, and so this thing met with concrete, and one of the screws flew out from the motors, from the bottom of the motors or whatnot. But other than that, you can't really see that this thing crashed for the most part. But let's get flying with this thing, show you guys how it flies real quick. Oh, it has an LED on the back. I think that's a nice touch. It's hooked directly to the buzzer, so it acts as an LVC warning too, so you can see it flashing. If you have it up high, you can see it flash when you're doing high stress maneuvers or when it's at LVC. So pretty awesome. See, I'm trying to get my eSheen monitor on right now. Okay, oh, it does have OSD too, so that's awesome. The camera isn't the best. So let's take this thing in the air. Okay, so as you can see, it's trying to go forward, but I did hold on to it. The first calibration wasn't all of that great, I admit that, but it does seem to even go forward when it's in acro mode. Like right now it's in acro mode. So let's do a quick punch out. So really nice punch out. I did up the rates a little, but the rates seem a little low. So you can see it turns really slow. This thing is a beast. It flies really fast. Oh, it's trying to go away. What the heck? And I'm almost losing this thing. I had to go back to stability mode. Just to get it back. I lost orientation of it that quick. And as you guys can see, this thing will get away from you really quick if you don't figure out which way is the front. But this thing is blazing fast, blinding fast. I'm not even kicking the throttle all the way up. I'm so afraid of a brownout from this thing. Well, let's see. So really fast. Let's slow it down. Okay, we're back in acro mode again. And that makes it really strange too, to fly acro and do flips and all with it being slow like this. You have to wait long for it to turn over. See, I don't know where this truck is going or it's going in there. Do some FPV with it. I wasn't thinking I should have just switched to FPV to get it back to me. A lot of times we don't think though. We just react, and not always the best choice in our reaction. Okay, so this thing is a very power hungry quad, so I'm just going to bring it down and we're going to land this thing before we get a brownout or something. So that's it, a quick demo flight of the AR Fun, and I almost lost this thing. Thanks for watching.